Got a little scary in here, Lou.
Well, it is almost Halloween.
Happy Halloween week.
Yeah, happy Halloween, all.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun episode, folks. Dan Schinder here with Lou Calderola on Under the Influence, where we have a different theme every month, talking about and showing clips of us demonstrating different influences of ours, not just drummers, but drummers, music, albums, songs, themes, things like that. So we kind of went with a spooky horror theme, and Lou's playing is great, mine's horrific, so it's perfect. So Lou, you want to kick it off with one of yours first?
Sure. Yeah, as we were talking about when we set up for the promo, I was pretty excited for this episode. I love the horror movie genre, and it's always great when you can get some cool rock songs that go right along with some of the stuff you love. So there were so many choices. This was hard to kind of just pick a few of them. We could have gone in so many directions with this, and folks, chime in and let us know what some of your favorite Halloween selection songs are. But yeah, I kicked it off with the first thing that came to mind, like instantly when you said the topic to me when we were chatting, was Frankenstein. The first thing that came to mind instantly. So the great Edgar Winter Group, and this is the drummer was Charles Ruff III who played on that one.
Yeah, and you and I chatted about this, saying it wasn't the first instrumental by a rock band. I don't know what was. Moby Dick was before that. But I think it's the first commercially popular, other than maybe Hocus Pocus by Focus, maybe.
Okay.
Or what was the other one? Popcorn. Boop, 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 boop,
Okay.
boop,
And
that one, for
Green Onions, maybe before that.
Yeah. So
there's definitely some out there, but this one was, like, when you say commercially known, probably one of the first bigger ones.
And still holds up. Here's Lou doing some of Frank and Lou. So cool. That's such a great song. And you, I'm sure, are aware that there were two different cuts. There was the shorter radio cut and the longer FM radio cut that had the and all the drum stuff. And it's such a great song. Now I gotta play that loud on Halloween.
It's such a great one. And like, it was even hard to pick, like, what section of the song do I
feel? Right, exactly. Yeah.
So much fun stuff in that one. And I know the obvious question is, hey, Lou, like, maybe, why didn't you do the drum solo-y section? But realistically, to do that, we're always talking about recreating the songs the way they were, or a great live version of it, and that, for most people probably know, that wasn't all just the drummer on the break. It was Charles and Edgar dueling each other on, like, a percussion setup and a drum kit back and forth.
Yeah, Edgar, quite the musician. I saw them play that live. I'm trying to remember how long this was ago. Longer than I'm thinking. It was when they opened for Deep Purple. The last time I interviewed Ian, that had to be 5 years ago or something. But it was so cool to see that song live. It was really cool. Yeah, he still got it. So my first one is features Carmine Appice on the drums. It's an Ozzy Osbourne song. I got to correct myself. It featured Carmine on the studio version. On the live version, it's Tommy Aldridge. And this is Bark at the Moon by Ozzy Osbourne. Do you happen to know, little trivia, why Carmine was asked or told to leave the band by Sharon?
I don't know if I do know this story.
It is like a lot of wacky decisions by Sharon that are selfish. Sorry, Sharon. But it's because she thought Carmine's, and it's kind of a compliment, she thought Carmine's popularity would upstage and take away from Ozzy.
Oh.
So if you're going to be asked to leave an act, that's not a bad reason, I guess.
You're too well known.
Yeah. So this is live from the tour, which I saw. And I remember the drum riser coming out of these giant doors and sliding down on the riser of this giant staircase. I'm like, that's not Carmine. And then I realized, oh my God, it's Tommy, who I saw on the very first tour that Ozzy did when Randy Rhoads was still alive. So this is Jakey Lee on guitar. I don't remember. I don't think this is Rudy on bass. I don't remember who's on bass. I got to ask Rudy. We're having him on our fan Q&A, by the way, folks, on the 16th at noon Pacific. Here is me taking a bite out of Bark at the Moon.
Nice.
I love the gallop of that. You know, you hear that in a bunch of Iron Maiden stuff from Nico. There's some other Ozzy stuff like that. I like that kind of just trotting along. That's what's fun about playing that.
That one's always such a great feel. The drums in that have such cool energy. Oh, the whole song has great energy, but yeah, the drums really drive that one well.
Yeah, thank you. And of course, the werewolf theme. So there you go. Next up from Lou is
all right. So this one again, we were saying, so many great options, but I had to go. We're thinking influence stuff and things that really made an impact. And this was a toss up. This was like almost a tie. I'll lead into this. The one that I was thinking, I was going to go. I love the song. It's almost Halloween. I was going to do a section of Halloween by the band Helloween, because I loved that band back in the day, and that whole theme around Halloween was so great. But
yeah.
So many choices, right? We're trying to narrow it down to 3. And another one that really always stuck in my head, it's just such a fun energy, is I went with the Time Warp from Rocky Horror Picture Show. So we're of that era of when you could actually go to see the Rocky Horror Picture Show in a theater and bring all your bag of props and, that went along with the movie. I don't think that many places allow that too much anymore.
Right. I got kicked out once because I brought my own food. I didn't know you couldn't light up a grill inside the theater. Cool. Here we go. Check it out. Lou Warp. This is called Lou Warp. That song is so ripping. I forgot how ripping that song is.
Well, let me correct things there. We got videos out of order. So that was
Oh,
time warp. That was not
oh,
time
you're
warp.
right.
So
Sorry about that. What the?
let's set up the videos correctly. So
You know
that
what? They're
actually,
numbered and somehow they didn't order in number. That's weird. Sorry
so
about that.
let me give the setup for that one then, folks. So yeah, that one was you obviously you heard the song. That was Murders in the Rue Morgue by Iron Maiden, where unfortunately the day after I recorded that, Paul Diano passed away.
Yeah.
So rest in peace, Paul. Sorry to hear that. And also that was featuring the drummer Clive Burr. And just that was always for like the hard rock metal genre. I mean, just the drums to Clive's stuff on those early couple Maiden albums were just insane. And like that snare roll at the beginning of Murders in the Rue Morgue, and the audio that I used, because we have to use like stuff that we won't get muted here online. That was actually Paul Diano and his solo band from just a couple years ago. That I played under, I played the drums over on that one. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was a really fun one to do. The energy on that snare roll it was just so
Yeah. Sorry about that.
cool.
Did you ever see that lineup live?
I did not. No, I've seen Maiden a number of times, but first time I was lucky enough to catch Maiden wasn't until the Live After Death tour or Power Slave tour.
Okay, I saw that lineup live open for the Scorps way back in the day, and it was great. It was so good. Their opening song was Rothschild, which is one of my favorite Maiden songs. Says with Steve Harris's bass line, and Steve Harris's birthday was the day after Paul passed as well. And he posted a picture of the two of them together. But yeah, Paul had it going on with that solo career as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Mine, I'll try to do in order, is and that's weird. Number 3 for both of ours are not in order. That's weird. So my number 2 is there's so many versions of this that I basically just threw a dart, and the first one I came across that was clear enough to play to. It's a Rush bootleg, and the tempo of this one was kind of odd. You know, when you play a song on tour after tour after tour after tour, they play with it. Sometimes it's the theme of that tour that things might be a little faster than normal, might be a little slower. This one's a little slower, like it's almost like they're all playing behind the beat, and it's Witch Hunt, one of my very favorite Rush songs. So I couldn't leave Witch Hunt out for this. And this is from, I think, the Grace Under Pressure tour, if I remember correctly. Yeah, here we go. That tempo was just throwing me off, but I love this song. The lyrics are great. Just the gravitas that song has is just so awesome for 3 guys, you know?
I was wondering what part of the song you were going to pick because it's such a great song. And yeah, that's you got all those great fills in there. And it's funny how certain things will stick with you sometimes. I mean, there's so many great Neil and just drummer fills in that one. But I don't know about you, or but the one that always stuck out to me was probably the more simple one in there that you caught earlier on. That bum 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 bum.
Yeah.
That's such a great little tasty fill.
Yeah, thank you. And then the other, not that I invented it, but the other ones harken back to 2112 when he first kind of coined that. That's like became his thing, you know. And the first thing I think that people started air drumming to by Rush was that fill, you know. Cool. Next up is, wait, let me guess. Is it from Rocky Horror Picture Show?
Oh man, you guys, it's like a mind reader over there. It's crazy. But before we get to that, I just didn't know, Dan, because you did mention it. Then this next video that will hit of yours will be the last time we see Big Blue for a while.
That's right. I have a new kit that's halfway set up right now, as we're live. Sunday on the the 27th. Yeah, they're gonna change it tonight. And it's going to be finished set up in just a little while. And I won't say what it is. I have gone live once to show the blue kit right after I recorded those songs and said, okay, this is the last time you're going to see this for a while. But I'll say this. It's called the Big Red Reveal. I'll say that. I did decide, I was just explaining to Lou before we went live, that I am going to keep my blue 18-inch floor tom and my two smallest blue drums and smallest drums of the kit, which are 8 and a 10. And then something red is going to be mixed in between. And I'll go live before Wednesday to give yet another clue and maybe even hold the camera up real close to one of the drums just to see the color, or give away a song. One or the other is going to give it all away. But I'm real excited about it. And all my drums on the blue kit don't have bottom heads, and they haven't since 1983. This kit is a 1984 kit, and that's by design, by the way, by me, except for the two smallest ones were concert toms. But this kit is a 1984 kit and has bottom heads, and I'm leaving them on. And I'm trying to think of another clue that I could give that won't give it away too much. It's a Tama kit. I'll say that. Okay, 1984 Tama kit. We'll leave it with the Big Red Reveal. Okay, thanks for that little sneak peek, Lou. Awesome.
So obviously, the next one we have mentioned, I was talking about Time Warp. One of the pretty cool things was, when I was just looking it up, I knew Richard O'Brien, who did a lot of the, writing and the production and in music, played Riff Raff. I knew that he had a lot to do with all of that, but didn't know he also played the drums on it too.
Wow.
This is Richard O'Brien, Riff Raff from the film.
Oh, I didn't know that either. Has he played otherwise that you know of, like on anything that's been published?
Just some soundtrack that, he was often involved in a lot of, he does a lot of production and all, and would do some soundtrack stuff and play a lot of the instruments, but I didn't realize he also did drums. I knew he was a composer. He does a lot of writing, producing, and composing and all, but didn't know that on a lot of the original Rocky Horror soundtrack, on bits and pieces of certain songs, he's like almost every instrument.
Wow, that's cool. I had no idea. Check this out, folks.
It's astounding. Time is fleeting. Madness takes its toll. But listen closely, not for very much longer. I've got to keep control. your hands on your hips.
What a fun song to play.
Right? Had to include that one.
When was the last time you saw the movie?
I sometimes try and would watch it around Halloween, but I didn't last year. So 2 years ago around Halloween.
For me, it's been more like 20. I haven't seen it in so long, but I'm inspired. I put a question in the comments a little bit ago, and Steven says, when it comes to, do you have favorite spooky songs? And Steve says, when I think of scary music, I mainly think of film and TV scores like Curse of Chucky, Hannibal, and Twin Peaks. And then he also goes on to say, I guess Pink Floyd music can sound kind of scary at places. And maybe, yes, Gates of Delirium, definitely during the battle scene. Oh boy, those screams and everything are scary if you have it up really loud. I remember hearing that as a kid when it came out with headphones on, and it was like, what the heck is going on here? It was indeed scary. That's a good one. Yeah, some of mentioning Pink Floyd, Steve, I'm gonna cut you into tiny pieces. What
Yeah.
that and
Several species.
yeah, and parts of Metal. You know, there's definitely some scary stuff going on there with those guys. Cool, good call, Steve. My last one, it's funny. I'm embarrassed to say this, but I initially recorded part of Home by the Sea 2 by Genesis, which is the instrumental part. And it's got that cool beat. Boom, da, da, dun, 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 da, da, dun, dun, and then all these embellishments. And I recorded it, and the freaking microphone wasn't on. So I thought, you know what? I think I'm going to do the first one after all, Home by the Sea 1. However, it has timpani in it, and you can't see the timpani drums on my kit in these videos when it's that sort of behind my left. Like the camera's like right there looking down at me. Reason being, I have a laptop on a stand between the timpanis so that when I do Dan's Almost Daily Vlog, I'm facing the camera that's above me when I'm on the laptop answering people's questions and stuff. So I took a picture so that people can see the two timpani drums that are to my left as I'm sitting at the kit. You can see here's the snare, the pedals down there, the hi-hat, and the two timpanis. And everything looks a lot smaller than it really is. Those are 15-inch hi-hats and a 27 and 29-inch pedal tuned timpanis from 1959. They're Slingerland timpanis. I'm the second owner, and I got them in 1977. So when you see this song, you'll see me reach over there, and if you know the song, you'll know that timpani hit. And here it is, Home by the Sea 1. A little fake ending there. I love that beat because just adding that dotted eighth note there totally changes the feel and the groove. And it's fun to kind of like work out the coordination of that depending on where that drum is that you use for that. For me, it happened to be there. So I'm hitting some of the snare hits with my right hand coming off the hi-hat while I'm going over there and then coming back in time to get the next beat with my left hand.
I always like the interesting formulas and syncopations and things like that that drummers do, because so many of us, whether it's our sticking, left-handed, right-handed, the setup of your kit can change how you phrase a song, right? When figuring something out. And sometimes, you're like, well, all right, I know what that is, but how does that work for the way I play or where my stuff is? Right. It's interesting to come across those scenarios sometimes.
Yeah, and that's also a great point, because I'd like to encourage people who are drummers to just change up your kit once in a while. Like, just move stuff around and put things where it normally wouldn't be. It makes you totally think differently, physically and visually, the patterns and all that. I think that's always fun. And this kit will not be set up exactly the same as the Big Blue one. So I've been thinking, like, okay, what should I do that is different, that'll make me think and play differently? And then I'll have to learn how to play all over again, because it's a bit of a different setup. But we'll see how that finishes out today when I'm done setting it up.
Best of luck with that. It's fun. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Your point on the setups too. I try and do that a lot myself. I have a core, setup that I'll keep, but I like to try and switch things up, or depending on who I'm playing with or what I'm playing for. Usually I was using the Moondust kit in a lot of videos, and for the latest few, I've got the green kit,
the green bottle, right?
Yeah, and I'm gonna keep keep the green going through the holidays, but I am adding another piece to the Moondust kit, so when you see that back, it'll be in a different configuration again. So
can't wait to see that. You should get those guys to make you a miniature Moondust timpani.
That'd be an interesting one. I got to talk to Romano on that one.
Yeah, a 20-inch or something, or 24. That'd be cool. So real quick, number one, favorite Halloween candy?
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. You put me on the spot here. That's a tough one. I'll go bite-sized strawberry Twizzlers.
Oh, okay. Mine, I'd have to say either, and there's a correlation here, either Reese's peanut butter cup or M&M's with peanuts. I just love the whole chocolate and peanut butter thing. What was your favorite costume that you've ever come up with, either as a kid or an adult?
Probably the one that I was most excited about was back when I'm a big I'm a bit of a DC Comics fan guy. So I think some of my top ones were getting a really authentic Batman costume back in the day, with like a really good looking one, not like, your little paper ones. Like, so getting a first really good Batman costume. But runner-ups, Sandman and V for Vendetta.
Oh, interesting. I'm curious what Steve would have to say about that. You saw his Reese's is top tier. I'm glad my son agrees with me on that one. And he also says, where do you guys fall on the candy corn debate?
I am big thumbs down on the candy corn.
Same here. It literally tastes like hard shell corn syrup, and that's it. That's all it is. Steve, where do you stand on it, since you brought it up? My favorite costume is one that my daughter made for me. One of my daughters made back in that's how long ago. No, it would have been 2006 maybe. And what she did is she took one of my flannel shirts, the small individual serving size cereal boxes.
Yes.
She emptied out all the cereal. She glued the boxes to a shirt and put plastic knives in all of them with blood coming out. I was a serial killer. I wore that for years and years, until just maybe 3 years ago, Enja had to kind of refashion a new one. That was my thing, serial killer with the dead cereal boxes. Steve says, oh no, he says, I like candy corn. That figures. He also says, I have a Batman cowl. That's right, he does. But it would be cool to have the full costume and then walk around saying, I'm Batman.
Exactly. The cowls, you've been able to get some really good high quality cowls for a long time, but it wasn't until around, like, this is late 90s, I want to say it was, when they started making some better ones, and that was when I finally picked up a first one. It was like, yes, one that doesn't look like total cheese.
Right, exactly. Cool. Well, folks, thanks for joining us on this holiday episode. This will replay again on Halloween. So maybe you're seeing the replay then or in between or even after. And watch for more fun Under the Influence episodes with Lou and I. We got some really great things through the holidays plan and all the way into Q1 of next year. So thanks, everybody. And we will leave you with this if I can find the right button. Where's the right button? Hold on. Here we go. It's right about. I maybe I have the wrong glasses on. Oh, okay. There we go. I got to do this. Okay, folks. Thanks again. We will see you soon.
Halloween Gremlins, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna. That's what it is. Thanks, folks. See you soon. Bye bye.